my disclaimer, for anyone that's listened to my past stuff, understands that I'm not a big fan of Money in the Bank. I think it's a coward's PLE, and they've displayed that over and over again. To me, it, kind of makes your characters look weak because they wait for the person to be down and they run in. And it's just so dumb to me. And I also think that there are a number of PLEs, well, a few of them, that they should not be PLEs. They should just be individual matches. Like I remember when Elimination Chamber popped off, now all of a sudden it's a pay-per-view. When I stop watching and come back, all of a sudden it's a whole big pay-per-view. It's like you watered the whole damn thing down. Money in the Bank should be every few years, if you ask me. But I don't run shit, so anyhow, Damian Priest, this would be the perfect time for Liv to help Damian Priest if Rhea is going to make her return in SummerSlam. I don't know, for him to get the win, but then again, in order to make him more of a legitimate champion, he's probably going to have to beat friggin' Clean. And I don't have any issues with his run. I know he's got a lot of people saying, I don't think he's ready. I think it's a bunch of BS. He's going to have maybe a little bit of a harder time. Maybe just because the energy is not right. Like when he tripped on that rope, the rope thing at Clash. Sometimes it's just energy that creates that. But we know that there's probably more of a rope issue. But for it to happen to him and not someone else, to me exudes, is a weird energy about him that's around him that made him trip on that rope. Because when he cuts promos and when he speaks, he sounds extremely authoritative. He sounds and looks like a leader, even when he was in NXT. So, as far as his legitimacy as a champion, I ride with him. So, the women's entrants are, I believe it's Naomi, which actually surprised me. I thought it was going to be Blair Davenport, who I believe I was calling B. Priestley before. That's actually one of her names. So, Trinity, Io, Chelsea, Zoe, Lyra. There's one more person. Let me see. Trinity, Chelsea, Lyra, Io, Zoe. Oh, and Tiffany. Damn, a lot of Y's. A lot of Y's in these people. Or IE sounds. Anyhow. The surprising winner. This is just a guess. I don't know. The surprising winner would be Naomi. The one that I would have win would be Tiffany. Lyra's getting pushed too fast, even though she's very prepared. They could easily go with Io and make her, and create history with her on that. But then look, the way I look at it is each win kind of dictates the future of storylines that you might be able to predict. So if Io wins, right, is Liv still holding the title? Because they both kind of are heels. Do you have that? Even though people are probably going to side with Io, but then she's still with Damage Control, and Damage Control will help her cheat. So now, which side of the fence is that on, right? If Rhea were to return and Io wins again, which side is Rhea going to be on? Because even as I had noted in another app, that their group was kind of getting played out, and now they'll be slowly disbanding. So what side does Rhea end up on? Is she going to be a face? Is she going to be a heel? So I don't know about that. Or does she go over to SmackDown? How do you do that? So Chelsea, I always ride for Chelsea. You know, my Queen of the Ring statement. You can go watch that. So that's kind of like the dark horse, just because I ride for her so much. And they just see her kind of as a fucking goof, even when she displays really nice moves in the ring. So Lyra's already in a feud with Io. So how do you do that unless you pull off some sort of a tiebreaker, which I don't believe they've ever done before, where both women fall and have the briefcase, and that could be something different. But you know how this goes. Same old, same old. I think I named it with Zoe. No fucking way. It's just no way they're gonna give it to Zoe. It has nothing to do with me liking her or not. I just don't think that they take her seriously. You know, they put her under the Shayna Baszler, you know, side of everything. Where it's like, yo, you really do seem tough, but we're gonna make you look soft. So I can't really call which direction. You know, if it's Trinity. Oh, so let me backtrack. So I was talking about how each winner will kind of determine, you know, basically is its own spoiler alert at certain points. If it's Trinity, that means Trinity has to face Bayley, and that means that Bayley's going to win SummerSlam and beat Nia. Right? That means that will already be kind of written in stone if it's Trinity. So, as far as I'm concerned, if I were booking this, I would make it Tiffany, because Tiffany can pull some old Alexa Bliss-ish. She's already aligned herself with Nia, so they're slowly forming this alliance, this team. And if Nia beats Bayley, which I had this weird feeling that's probably going to happen, Nia beats Bayley, and Tiffany will either pop up at this SummerSlam and beat her, or they'll ride it out a little bit and still act like her friend, and I guess kind of decide who's going to be the face and who's going to be the heel. It feels a little bit more that everyone doesn't feel a little bit more, but everyone is riding with Tiffany more than anything. So if Nia oversteps her heelish ways, then it looks better for Tiffany to come out on top whenever she's down and, you know, MITB her ass and get the title. And then as time goes on, it will probably end back up in Bayley's hands, unless they're going to give Trinity a run. But I wouldn't hold my breath with that. But like I said, that's if I was doing this. I'm now kind of making it like this was going to happen. But yeah. So, yeah, this one I can't really call. So I just went off on my own thing, what I would do if I had it, because I don't know. Yeah, I just don't, I don't really see like that big Lyra versus Liv. I don't really see that as being a big moneymaker right now, even though she's on the come up. Lyra, that is. Actually, both of them kind of are, because it's like they're giving Liv new legs with what she's doing. You know, I was actually thinking about doing a side thing on Liv, another episode on Liv, because I personally don't see her doing anything wrong. You know, people just started siding with Rhea because sometimes people just like the bad guy. So, but yeah, that would be a conversation maybe for another time. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say for right now. So, the men's ladder match for the Money in the Bank winner, I'm going to say it's definitely not going to be Carmelo because he's still too new. Not LA Knight because he's already expressed interest in that US title to continue his beef with Logan Paul. Andrade, no, because he's been bitching too much. It's between Jay and Chad. I would not be surprised if Logan Paul interrupts LA Knight's run here, causing him not to qualify. Causing him not to win. And I'm definitely expecting CM Punk to come in and ruin McIntyre's attempt to get the Money in the Bank. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with Andrade. If Jay wins, that lines him up for the Damian Priest match, and that will solidify that Damian Priest is definitely going to beat Seth. Now, if it was I would have Chad Gable win. Usually when you hear people call their own prediction, like, I'm going to win and take it all, yeah, that often happens. And I recall myself watching that a couple of times when Alpha Academy, with 2 weeks ago, that the week when the Wyatt Six arrived, hours before that, when Alpha Academy bounced on him and he was all pissed off, like, I'm going to win the Money in the Bank and all that. I kept watching that and I was like, I think that he's going to end up winning it, and it'll be influenced by Wyatt Six. But this is just crazy me. What I would do, me with the pen, okay, what I would do to put Chad Gable over is the ladder would be in the ring, directly, of course, under the two briefcases. There'd be a short, when they arrive, it goes dark, whatever. There'd be a short, the lights go down, the smoke would pop off, right? And this is when everybody's like laid out. So let's say you had Logan Paul pop up at the same time CM Punk, like, a few minutes apart. They do battle, whatever. Let's say it goes to the backstage and you don't see Knight anymore or whatever, right? Punk is going to come and push McIntyre off and do something fucked up to him, and everyone else is kind of laid out. And lights go down, smoke comes in. Chad happens to be the one person in the ring at that point in time. Smoke hits that ring. We see Nikki come in. Chad gets so scared that he climbs up on that ladder just a little bit, right? Nikki slides out, comes with another box, gives it to the announcers, right? And that takes the attention off of what's going on in the ring. When she bounces out, and it says we don't do the whole song and dance where we wait and wait and wait. We make her exit a little faster. When the lights come back up, you would see Chad still on the ladder, but maybe he's a little bit closer. And then he realizes that he should just go up to the top. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with this Otis thing. I don't know. Unless, whatever. It seems like he's using him for protection, which I think is kind of lame. I say if we're going to just grab Chad Gable and do something as far as the Wyatts are concerned, then, let's just do it. Unless they're saying that we need somebody as a recruit, bring us Otis. But I don't think they're going down that like dark satanic storyline anymore. I think they're doing some, just watching the new videos of We Were the Rejects and this, that, and the third. So, it still has supernatural, elements to it because you wiped out a whole team of people 2 weeks ago. And then when you appear every time there's smoke. So I don't know what they're doing, only they know, and that's just my direction that I would do for Chad to make him the Money in the Bank winner. And as it goes further along, because people go, then what's going to happen? I would say eventually, because usually like a year, they hold on to that. And actually, what they could do, now that I'm thinking about it, with the Otis thing, with him winning the Money in the Bank, it just makes him either big and prick. You know, he just becomes more of a dickhead. He breaks his promise to them. But and for the cash-in, whenever they do it, McIntyre should eventually win it. Let's say at Royal Rumble or something like that, right? He should eventually win the strap. And once again, just like WrestleMania, same shit happens, but this time Chad Gable cashes in on him. You know, maybe Punk does something. Actually, that would be a great idea. Punk will come and F it up for Royal Rumble, and that will set their matchup for Mania if he's healthy. Chad Gable will slide in and win the strap off of him. And they can just let him hold the strap until WrestleMania, and then somebody beats the living shit out of him. All right, yeah, that's it. That's my predictions for the manslaughter match. That's not even a prediction. It's just my story arc. All right, I'm out. Later.